Allen earned the nickname Grindfather because of his relentless, defense-first playing style that seemed out of place in today's NBA. Offensively, he was almost invisible, shooting under 30% from three and rarely creating plays or scoring. Defenders rarely feared his shot, and he often just barged into opponents rather than running offense. However, his defense was elite and chaotic, averaging over 1 steal per game in his career, with a peak of 4 steals per 48 minutes and even an 8-steal game. Allen made opponents' lives miserable without touching the ball. Teams won because of his physical, relentless defense despite his offensive limitations. Kyle Anderson, nicknamed Slow-Mo, Kyle Anderson stands out in a league of explosive athletes by moving deliberately, almost like he's underwater. At 6'9", he uses hesitation dribbles and jab steps to outsmart defenders rather than relying on speed. Anderson's game isn't flashy. His usage rate stays low, but he impacts games through smart defense, rebounding, and precise passing. Offensively, he avoids three-pointers unless wide open and scores mainly with floaters and unconventional footwork in the paint. Defensively, his intelligence and reach help him rack up steals and blocks without relying on athleticism. Despite his slow style, he's consistently effective and valuable to teams. Jason Williams, known as White Chocolate. Jason Williams played basketball like every moment was a highlight reel. His passes were wild and creative. No-look lasers, elbow bounces, and full-court zips through traffic. He averaged nearly 6 assists per game, but also turned the ball over often, with a 2-1 assist-to-turnover ratio, showing his risky, flashy style. His dribbling was a spectacle of spins, crossovers, and hesitation moves, more about mesmerizing defenders than creating easy buckets. Williams shot under 42 overall and struggled with consistency, relying on chaotic bursts of scoring. Defensively, he gambled for steals, but often got beaten by quicker guards. His unpredictable, entertaining play made him unforgettable. Tony Snell. Tony Snell played like a ghost on the court, barely touching the ball, yet still earning praise in starting roles. With a usage rate around just 10%, one of the lowest for wings, he made his mark through incredible efficiency. In 2021, Snell became the first NBA player to shoot over 50% from the field, nearly 57% from three, and a perfect 100% from the line, with at least 100 attempts. Taking only about 3 shots per game, he rarely missed, making defenders respect his spot-up shooting. Defensively, Snell was quiet but effective, using his length to contest shots and stay in front without fouling or turning the ball over. His stats may seem modest, but his steady presence helped teams win consistently. Sean Marion, nicknamed the Matrix. Sean Marion's game defied basketball logic. His jump shot looked awkward, like pushing a beach ball off his chest, low and quick, yet he still shot over 33% from three and nearly 49% from the field. Marion wasn't just a quirky shooter. He was a defensive chameleon, guarding everyone from Tim Duncan to Kobe Bryant. He played multiple positions: small forward, power forward, center, even point guard in small ball lineups. Known for rebounding like a big man, he scored mostly at the rim or in transition. Offensively, Marion avoided isolations, preferring fast break dunks and spot-up threes. Defensively, he averaged over a steal and a block per game, rare for wings. His unique versatility made him a constant nightmare for opponents. PJ Tucker. PJ Tucker, standing 6 or 5, but often listed at 6'4", plays like a 7-foot power forward on both ends of the floor. With a massive 7-foot wingspan, he boxes out taller players and dominates contested spots. Offensively, Tucker barely touches the ball, keeping a low usage rate by design. He camps in the corner, knocking down threes at a solid 36% clip, making defenders constantly wary. Defensively, he's relentless, guarding everyone from point guards to centers, throwing his body into opponents with grit and leverage, especially in the 2021 finals. Even at 39, Tucker remains a trusted veteran, delivering tough, physical minutes. His impact isn't flashy, but undeniable, undersized, but never out-muscled. Jaren Jackson Jr. Jaren Jackson Jr. is a defensive powerhouse, leading the league in blocks and earning multiple Defensive Player of the Year honors. He guards every position, from centers to guards, with incredible versatility and intensity. Yet, despite being nearly 7 feet tall, his rebounding numbers, around 5.8 per game, are surprisingly low, making it seem like he's avoiding the boards. Offensively, he plays more like a shooting guard, averaging over 20 points per game by knocking down more than 4 three-pointers nightly. His pick-and-pop style stretches defenses, but he rarely creates plays for teammates, and his turnovers can be costly. This unique combination of elite defense, spacing, and weak rebounding makes his game one of the NBA's strangest. Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons is like watching basketball through a funhouse mirror. A 6'10 playmaker with elite vision, but zero interest in shooting beyond mid-range. He's an exceptional passer, averaging over 7 assists per game and acting like a true floor general. Yet his shooting is nearly non-existent. In almost 400 games, he's taken just 36 three-pointers and made only 5. Defensively, Simmons is a force, guarding every position, disrupting stars, and ranking high in steals and defensive impact. He's even filled in at center when needed. Unfortunately, persistent injuries have limited his time on the court. When healthy, his passing, rebounding, and defense shine, but his refusal to shoot makes him one of the league's most unusual players. Dennis Rodman. Dennis Rodman redefined what it means to dominate the front court without scoring. Standing just 6'7", he averaged over 13 rebounds per game and led the league in rebounding for 7 straight seasons, a staggering feat. Rodman didn't rely on athleticism alone. He outsmarted, outworked, and frustrated opponents into giving up boards. Defensively, he was a nightmare, guarding everyone from shooting guards to Hall of Famers with a defensive rating under 100. He earned 2 Defensive Player of the Year awards and 7 All-Defensive First-Team selections. Offensively, Rodman was nearly invisible, averaging just 7 points per game, with almost no shooting or playmaking, and a usage rate below many bench players. Yet his relentless defense and rebounding helped his teams win 5 NBA titles with Detroit and Chicago. His unique impact made winning possible without scoring. Draymond Green. Draymond Green is a power forward unlike any other. Standing 6'6", he often plays center, orchestrates the offense like a point guard, and acts as the emotional leader on the court. Defensively, he's elite, boasting a 3.0 defensive box plus-minus, guarding every position without needing freak athleticism. At 35, he still averages 6.4 assists per game, surpassing many pure point guards, and has over 30 triple-doubles despite averaging less than 9 points. His shooting is shaky, under 32% from 3, but that doesn't matter. Green's value lies in setting perfect screens, finding shooters like Curry, and keeping the offense fluid. Known for his fiery temper with 147 technical fouls and multiple ejections, his chaotic leadership fuels Golden State's success in ways few others can match. Nikola Jokic. Nikola Jokic defies every expectation of a traditional center. Moving almost sluggishly, he commands the offense with the vision of a top point guard, averaging 7 assists per game over his career, and over 10 this season. His 36% assist rate is unheard of for a big man. Scoring isn't flashy. His soft floaters and unique one-legged fadeaways make up most of his 26 points per game, on an impressive 63% true shooting. Defensively, he's not an aerial threat, but plays smart positioning, averaging 1.2 steals per game and providing solid contests. On the boards, he grabs 11 rebounds per game, then often starts fast breaks himself without a traditional outlet pass. Jokic breaks every center stereotype, making his game weird but incredibly effective. Josh Hart. Josh Hart is a 6'4" guard who rebounds like a fullback in a paint-heavy league. This year, he averaged over 7 rebounds per game, an incredible feat given he's battling power forwards and centers. His rebounding rate of nearly 13% outshines many big men who camp under the rim. But Hart's impact goes beyond boards, and he's relentless, diving on the floor, crashing the glass, fighting through screens, and snatching loose balls without hesitation. Playing nearly 30 minutes a game, coaches rely on his constant energy and chaos, scoring about 9 points per game with smart efficiency and a low usage rate around 14%. Hart doesn't need the ball to make a difference. He's a glue guy, like a power forward trapped in a shooting guard's body, perfectly built for the Knicks' gritty style. Bye. The basketball anomaly nobody saw coming. Towering at 7'4" with an 8-foot wingspan, but he moves like a guard, crossing up defenders, running the floor, even pulling up for threes. Forget the usual big man stereotype of lurking near the rim. This guy initiates fast breaks and handles the ball like a perimeter player. In 2024, he primarily played center, but also spent time at small forward. Yes, small forward at 7'4", a complete outlier. Defensively, he's elite, leading the league in blocks for 2 straight years while holding guards under 40% shooting when switched onto them. That rare versatility coaches dream of, but rarely get. His rebounding looks solid, but it's all about timing and positioning rather than brute force. He's no Rodman, just incredibly long and smart. Offensively, he puts up 24-plus points a game, mixing deep shots with slick Euro steps like a much smaller player. When he misses games, the team's performance drops immediately. Even on a losing team, his presence flips the net rating. At his age and size, that kind of impact is unmatched anywhere else. Ben Wallace, the ultimate defensive juggernaut who looked like he belonged in the weight room more than the paint. At just 6'9", he bullied giants night after night across 16 seasons without ever needing a jump shot. Offense? Not his thing. Hustle and defense? All day, every day. He led the league in rebounds, blocks, and even steals once. An insane feat for a big man. With limbs like tree branches and a motor that never quit, Wallace was undrafted and undersized, but built a legacy on pure grit. 4 Defensive Player of the Year awards and a championship proved his impact. His numbers tell the story. Under 6 points per game, nearly 10 rebounds, and a career box plus-minus of plus 2.5. His prime defensive rating of 96.7 screams elite. Versatility was his secret weapon. Throw him on any position, and he'd make life miserable. Shooting? Forget it. Free throws, threes, mid-range were all a no-go. Magic Johnson, a 6'9" point guard who changed the game with his unique blend of size, skill, and vision. Unlike most point guards who rely on speed and dribbling, Magic used his height and incredible court awareness to dominate. He played all 5 positions, once scoring 42 points as a center in the finals. Averaging nearly 12 assists per game and leading the league 9 times, he made no-look passes look effortless. Though not a prolific three-point shooter, he scored over 19 points per game with 61% true shooting. Magic's mix of size and skill earned him 5 rings and 3 MVPs. Cameron Payne is a spark plug on the court, playing with a mix of chaos and confidence. One night, he'll drain 6 threes and disrupt passing lanes. The next, he'll struggle with turnovers and missed shots. In 2024, he scored 24 points against Toronto, but followed it with a rough 1-for-7 shooting night. Payne averages just under 8 points and 3 assists per game, often making plays that don't show in the box score. Defensively, he struggles, with a high rating and issues in isolation. Despite bouncing between 6 teams and 58 playoff games, his unpredictable style makes him both frustrating and exciting to watch. Nerlens Noel looks like a lanky defender who mastered shot blocking and stealing the ball. Standing 6'10" with a 7x4 wingspan, he's one of the rare big men to average over 2 blocks and 2 steals per 36 minutes. A true defensive force. His defensive impact shows in his positive defensive box plus-minus and solid ratings with teams like Dallas and New York. Offensively, he was limited. His usage rate stayed low, and turnovers often held him back, with one season seeing a turnover rate over 33%. Passing was a struggle, and his offensive moves were minimal. No reliable shooting or ball handling. But when it came to protecting the rim and disrupting opponents, Noel was dependable and relentless, making him a valuable defensive specialist.